Oh, fucking time.
Yeah. Hey, welcome everybody to Friday Night at the Crib. I've posted the link in chat in case anybody would like to join us. I think we're going to talk about the upcoming raid, the TLC, the current TLCs, one of which is active, which is, I think, a very pleasant change from Kid's Eye. It feels like I'm hoping it's a gift, not a Trojan horse. But it basically allows pretty much any player to get all the Hydra tech and 10 days worth of build tokens and some VXP tokens. So it should be, I'm hoping it's a gift and it's a change, like we saw with Hidden Depths, with allowing players to get 50 days of skirmish slash bank tokens. So hopefully we're headed in the right direction on certain things and realizing where the players are with everything. I really hope that this current one doesn't mean that we're going to see a raid target that we're not going to be happy with. And somebody mute their tubes. So, well, let me go ahead and introduce everybody from left to right. And again, anybody's welcome to join the show. From the left, the Holsch.
Howdy, everyone.
Magic Mike.
Happy Friday, folks.
The Grimace.
Hey, everybody.
Father George.
Evening, everybody.
And this is Hefe.
It is?
Yep. The one and only. The one and only.
Are you positive about that?
Well, I'm potentially going to change it to L period Hefe, but we're still waiting for that flagship to come out. So, we'll see. So how's everybody doing this week?
Doing great.
Okay. How are your tips?
How are my what?
Your tips. CHI. Good. Okay. George, how's your week gone?
Pretty good. I haven't really played much of the game, though, so I'm just trying to keep abreast of everything and get in when I can.
Okay. And Magic Mike? Okay.
Mike has left us. He has left the building.
Yeah.
I want my Mickey skin for my buck.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we can go to that. I made some quick slides associated
You didn't ask,
with...
wait, you got to ask Kolsch how he's been.
Nobody cares.
Oh, okay.
Fuck
All right.
Well, I'm assuming he's still hungover from, Wednesday he had to leave to go party with Johnny Manziel and Jimbo Fisher. So I'm assuming he's still hungover from that experience. How has your week been going, Holtz?
It's been good. Just finished a test today, so.
Okay. All right. And you figure out how to keep the onslaughts out?
The past few that have hit me haven't got my outpost, so.
Okay.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, Grimace, you're right. We don't give a fuck. Okay.
All right.
Let's go.
All righty.
Just trying to save time.
Let me go ahead and screen share. Let's see. Share. And we're still loading. Still loading. Not sure what's going on here. Here we go. Path to the continent.
There is one?
Yeah, it appears so. There's been a lot of talk in the description about these being co-op targets. And I still don't know. These are single silo co-op targets. So I don't know what the silo means. Does anybody have a clue?
Silo's they've been using Silo for things like uranium map targets and crap like that. So I'm assuming that it's just a single target that you got to hit, or a map target, planned map target. Who the hell knows at this point?
Okay. And yeah, from what I can see, target 1, which I wasn't able to get into, you're supposed to hit with your Phoenixes or Skyfires, and you get all the tech. Target 2 is works really well with Fangs, not as well with Hunters. Expect about 20 minutes of damage if you have decently built Fangtooth, or even less if you drive well.
Yeah, you know what? Now that I'm looking at that, that's probably what they mean by silo as an individual target. All right, I take that back.
Yeah, Well, I don't know if it has something to do with you can't retreat.
You can't retreat.
I don't know. No, the silo doesn't. It's not a non-retreat thing. But if you can use the word silo as an isolated thing, right? Like this is isolated from everything else. But then why the fuck would you say single silo?
It might be so you only need one type of fleet, in the other TLC you need 2 types.
Okay.
Maybe,
yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't
be it. But the word silo is
silo is either a silo where you fire a fucking missile from. It's a thing where you stick fucking grain, or it's a separated thing like an IT system is siloed.
Maybe that's what they mean. Single silo meaning once you fire from like a nuclear silo, you got one shot at doing it. That's the only thing that makes sense. That basically you can't reload your silo, or it takes a long time.
Yeah, but they call all the map targets silo targets too, which is in that instances they're individual targets.
Yeah,
they're isolated. You know what I mean? Isolated targets.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The other thing I noticed is on the post on the forum, the way they described it, it says once you start a co-op TLC, your radio tower will glow yellow. And that made me think of the radio tower in your base. And I know that doesn't make any sense, but that was the first thing I thought of. And I'm like, I don't even have one. Like, so now I'm going to have to build that stupid little building again. Like, I mean, because that's the way it sounds, right?
Yeah.
I mean, am I right or am I wrong? Like,
yeah.
When they said a radio tower.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, because usually they use the word campaign tower.
Because that's what it is.
Yeah. There's campaign towers, radio towers, and relay towers. Yeah, campaign towers would probably make it a little bit more straightforward.
I mean,
but
and it says another player will then be able to join you in the TLC through your radio tower. And
does that mean? Does that mean they have to? Does that mean they have to hit your base?
I mean, it was just that immediate. Just I was reading it fast, and I'm like, your radio tower? Like, crap! Now I got to build that, and I got something building. Anyway,
I mean, consistency, right? Like, yeah, we'll just name it something different every month. Did we miss something?
No, I'm sorry. The phone was ringing and I didn't put myself on mute. I mean, the good thing about what I really like about this target is it allows, well, if you are top of the tech, you can run through this by yourself. Doesn't need to be co-opt. You're not going to take a huge amount of damage. But the other side is it allows players that are lower level to get help from their alliance, to get all the tech, like I said earlier, and get 10 days of tokens. And it's like I said, it's that's why I named the show. Did we ask if we got a gift? Because that's basically the way it appears, to me at least.
I think we did on that one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, I guess we can go on.
It's funny because I'm seeing people on the forum saying that after it came back, that it's been more. It's the difficulty's been increased.
See, I've seen that a few times too, and I just ran it twice in a row, back to back, and it's not that hard.
Twice in a row? What do you mean?
Like I ran it, and then I helped somebody with it.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And both times it's relatively little damage.
Well, okay, motherfucker. What are you using in each one then? And who has their fucking YouTubes unmuted?
My YouTube's not on.
Mine's not either.
I was on mute, so I don't know.
Anyway, go ahead.
I'm using just a full fleet of fangs. Well, actually, let me back up. For the tier 1 assault that I didn't have to do because I already had Buccaneers, but the other person I was helping did. I brought in Phoenixes and he brought in his Skyfires. And so I did all the big ships with my Phoenixes, and then he did everything else with the Skyfires. And then the next one was just a full fleet of fangs, because that's just the Scourge blockade. And then the last one is my Buccaneer fleet that's ready for raid. So I just auto that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I wonder how Hunter's doing in number 2.
I drove with 4 in that one and came out with like 2.5 hours damage.
Yeah, and the Hunters for target 2?
The one that took the one used the Buckies.
Okay, but did anybody use... I read somewhere that the Hunters aren't working well. I used the Fang Tooth, like 20 minutes of damage. I didn't even drive that well. I think that was probably the problem. I was like, okay, this is basically the 89. Yeah, and who does have their...
I don't know, but that's annoying as shit.
Fanging that target, I took 18 minutes damage. Sloppy driving. If we're talking about the same target.
Yeah. I think
skirmish target.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. I guess we'll move on to the next one. But again, this allows, like what Grimace is doing, this allows anybody to help somebody else get the tech, get the build tokens, and move on. So it's quite helpful. Zoe's Legion HQ. This is currently off the map because what this one is doing, it's one prize pack but 3 encounters. The previous one was 3 prize packs with a single encounter in each. So they flip-flopped it there. The problem that, from what I can tell, is the player that was assisting was not getting these chests that you see on the right-hand side, the small Legion chests, medium, and large. Only the player that started the TLC. I think that's what they're trying to fix at this point. And again, this could really be sort of taken advantage of by somebody that wants Buccaneer tokens or Siege tokens, because what this allows a player to do is to help somebody else try to get these charged armors and, hit 10 or 15 of these and get a whole bunch of these chests from the way I understand it. But again, it's off the map at this point, allowing them to get, months of build tokens for the Buccaneer or Siege in general. So it's it feels like a gift until I've noticed that people are having a lot of problems with the target itself.
Yeah.
The drones are air drones. They can't be hit by torpedoes because people were trying to hit them with fangs. The recommendation, I think it was Rampage in the forums, said that those drone things are supposed to be hit with siege ships, which makes it confusing when you compare it to the other drones that can't be fired at directly. So that was a little bit confusing. And again, I have not been in this target. So did anybody actually get into this target before it was pulled from the map?
Just with a gunboat to look at it.
Okay. But nobody's attempted it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I did the same. It looks a lot like the old target that we saw, the first one. Yeah, previously seen Legion HQ. Looks a lot like that, but I didn't even try it once they put the drones in it, so I don't have any tips and tricks, so to speak, on this one.
Yeah.
So, but this one's off the map. But once it does get on the map, it could be really helpful for somebody that could do it well and wants to help people get their these 2 times 2 of each kind of charged armors. So, as I said, if you look here, you can get the structure tokens multiple times, the Buccaneer build tokens multiple times, and the Siege build tokens multiple times. So it could be quite the boon for somebody that's figures out the target. And
I saw what you did there.
Yeah, and it has the ability, and it has a bunch of people that would like them to help with it. So I will. I'm going to go off Brisnet and see what everybody else has to say about any of this.
I like the fact that they're coming out with TLCs to actually catch people up, I guess. Not even catch people up, but just get them to the point where they can actually feel like they can participate in the freaking game. I don't know why it's taking them this long to actually, do something positive like this. I hope it continues. I hope, I want to see this with, I mean, we've said it, I don't know how many times we've said this. Like, every week I want to see something of a chore fleet. Go to the bathroom there, baby. Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know whose mic that was, but I want to see TLCs for the chore fleets. Like, come out with one for the Fangs. Come out with one. I mean, just every week, just because if you're a player that's coming back, or you haven't been able to keep up, or I mean, heaven forbid something happened in real life and you haven't been able to play for a couple of months, you come back and you're locked out of just basic resources now. So I don't know. I'd like to see, and another thing is, part of what we like playing with Battle Pirates 4 is because we like coming up with builds and stuff, and those extra tokens, the other players that are caught up like to mess with their builds. I mean, it's fun. It keeps people engaged without like forcing them to engage in, I don't know, 5 hours of fucking FM. More TLCs like that.
I think it's kind of cool too, because it's kind of getting people talking again in sectors, because you're meeting people. Like, if people see that you can do these and help them out, and they're like, hey, can I get some help? And you're kind of meeting some people too, so it's getting that social thing kind of going again, which we really need, I think.
Good
No one wants to talk to me.
2 folks today that never talked to before were needing help, and we got together and helped. So yeah, it's 2 parts.
I mean, I think that's a big thing that's kind of been, I don't know if it's just been slowly going away over time, or it's just, I don't know. It's really disappeared a lot, though. It's just that social aspect. So anyway, I think it's pretty cool. And I think it's given a little bit of hope. It's given a little bit of hope to those people who maybe took a break and haven't been able to catch up. This is like, hey, I can get a few of the newer hulls and maybe do part of the raid or something myself,
Yeah. I mean, it does help with the social aspect. I mean, the game is hugely social based. But a
socially based game to the antisocial.
Yeah.
People that want to go out.
I just wonder.
People that want to go out and hit people. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wonder why we don't see this more often. I mean, granted, clearly there's some issues, but does this really need to have been through the radio tower or relay tower or whatever fuck tower you want to call it this time? The tower outside your base. Why couldn't it have been just a map target?
They're probably trying. Well, because I think they're trying to control the number of prizes, that the main set of prizes. Because if you make it a map target, then I can go out and get 500 days of siege of tokens.
If it's a map target, you can still set it up the same way, and you do the one time you go through prize pack 1. You get it's just a flag.
Maybe it makes
flag
it
it, flag it, and then once you're done with 3, the things are still on the map.
Could it have anything to do with population of targets on the map and maybe doing something to help?
Yeah, because they've given a shit about that before. Have you seen the gantries outside everybody's bases?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, you want to get rid of some shit on the map. What the fuck are they there for?
Agree.
But yeah, I think it's easier for people to understand because everybody thinks the map targets are consumable to, you can hit as many as you want. But this one allows a little bit more. There's the other issue when you come in and out of one. Who's getting this? Because they had problems. Remember that? With somebody would enter it and then they would leave and then come back. Like, who is actually getting the main prize? I don't understand why you don't like the campaign tower. What was that?
What is it with the noises? Hefe, what's going on at your house?
That was Grimace's stomach growling. Too many cookies.
I could eat some more. I got the bag right here.
Oh, okay. Lord. Let's not do that.
It's fine.
Rum is in the house.
Hey, Rum
is here. How is everybody?
How you doing, man?
Good. Very good, thanks.
Finally, we can start the show.
Well, yeah. Rum's Rant's coming up somewhere.
Go for it,
Awesome.
dude. Go for it.
Okay.
Spotlight. Come on. You're up. Go.
No, I can't.
I
haven't prepared.
There it is, everybody. You've been waiting all night. Rum's Rant.
Yeah, right.
And hi, Rum.
Hello, everybody.
Are we having performance anxiety tonight, Rum? Is that what the problem is?
Yeah, we are. I just gonna pull back a little bit.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but
I don't want to
think that. Yeah, if you think that's the right thing, Rum, go for it.
If I didn't what?
If you think that's the right thing, go for it.
I'll pull back a little bit.
Okay, all right.
Only the tip.
Mm-hmm. But Rum was one of those people that was inflicted with the test trap.
Yeah, I tried to do the trap and I got trapped.
Yeah. So when you were able to get back on last night?
Yeah, it was about 36 hours at least before I could get back on.
Yeah.
They did send me a nice little reward for it, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I should have researched it. How much?
100 coins.
Okay. Well, that's not bad. You know?
No.
For eating the Tide Pod.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rampage didn't say that.
I know he didn't.
Okay.
but I still found it to be hilarious.
It was, assuming that somebody that would actually research something with a bad name on it. Ooh, that's an idiot. He ate a Tide Pod.
Yeah. I just never heard that. I never heard that.
I'm going to give him a Tide Pod enema with a shotgun.
Alrighty. Okay. Well, at least you were compensated for it, and then there was the other people that had issues with their fangs turning into gunboats, and that got resolved as well.
Yeah, we thought that was funny.
Yeah. We
upgrade something
because it didn't happen to you.
No.
If that happened to you, then it wouldn't be funny.
No,
right?
It wouldn't be funny.
Anybody that wants Rum's coordinates, you just let me know after the show, and I might send you some.
Yeah, I'll be jumping.
Yeah, especially people with 3 onslaughts fully built and installed.
What happened to the onslaughts? Did they get changed?
No. I'm saying.
If they hit my base. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah, and I know Holst talked about having somewhat better luck with the onslaughts. Have you had any better luck, Rum?
I got hit a little earlier today. He did wind up getting everything, but I killed everything. He basically flattened the base, but he lost his sloth, his onslaught, his king's writ, and 2 more sloths. Everything was dead. How he got through, I don't know.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I just got home.
I'm assuming your ships killed him after he killed your stuff. So
yeah, my ships didn't die. I'm sure that's what it was. I mean, I only
Yeah.
lost one boat in the Eviscerator.
yeah, so he was just taking advantage of his low repair time to increase your repair time.
Exactly.
obviously-
But it didn't happen.
Ex-girlfriend,
Huh?
ex-girlfriend, just out there to cause you pain.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay, you never know.
Well, as Padre likes to call him, it's Terrier of the Seas, because his bark is worse than his bite.
Say to. All right.
I got walked today, but he didn't get my OP. He timed out.
Ah, what'd you do to your OP?
I don't know.
You got it on a boat, running it around real fast away from him. Ah, you can't get me. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that sounds familiar to the April Fool's Day show of the TFC, right?
That's what we need to have is a Benny Hills theme for somebody chasing an OP that runs away from him.
Yeah. How many of I noticed that some people don't have any of the C-webs on. I mean, how effectual do you think the C-webs are now with new insulator? I
haven't been hit enough to tell.
Okay.
Yeah, same here. I don't know. I look. Quite honestly, I'm kind of just sitting back on the PvP thing now. Just again, it goes back to the like this changes and changes and changes. I mean, dude, fuck, can I have a week at least of, being able to use my shit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's it's interesting. We've talked about this tier 7 transition, and I was really hoping for something to happen that would even the playing field as far as offense and defense, as opposed to this whole minimum damage game that's going on. But oh well, not yet. We've got some other great TLCs, or at least one good TLC to help us out in PvE. But hopefully, well, we have the raid. I'm assuming it's going to happen in the raid because we haven't seen it happen in the TLC yet. Hello, Renato.
Hey, Jeff. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. And yourself?
Not bad.
Okay. You're trying to remain incognito?
Just comfortable like that.
Okay. At least you didn't go ski mask, so I mean, we can still see the Ren P pop up, but yeah. So how have you been? I saw you did a couple of videos you did a video on the Path to the Continent.
Yeah, I wanted to get it out as fast as I could. Once I saw how easy it was, because I think like with that TLC out there and being co-op, absolutely every single active Battle Pirates player should get the blueprint and some tokens. You know what I mean? It's just anybody who asks for help in Condor or is part of an alliance, even if you don't have the right fleets, if you have a freaking gunboat, should be able to get the Buccaneer, the Cannon, the Special, and the tokens.
Yeah, as long as you have friends that are willing to help you out. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. I think it's a great gift to both the high-level player and the low-level player as far as...
And it's a huge gift because once you get on board with one of the top fleets for a raid cycle, you kind of get all set to do well in the game because, whenever they release the next, what's the next cycle? Assault. So whenever they release the Assault Hull in April's raid, if that's when it is, with the Buccaneers, people will be able to get it. And even if people don't coin between now and April, they're bound to have a decent fleet, And whenever they release the FM new hull, same thing. So it kind of gets you on the path to now do well on a regular basis without depending on anyone else.
Oh, it depends if you can get some charged armor too, though.
Yeah, very important, yeah. But like I said, if you get the Buckies now, should be able to get a few C1C here and there, or maybe a few C1Rs. I mean, right now I think there are 2 TLCs where you can get them, and one of them is co-op too. It's not easy. The other one's really hard, but still it's co-op, so
the other one's not around.
Did they pull it out?
Yeah, they pulled it
out because it wasn't giving the chest to the helper.
Oh, okay.
So they pulled that one. Did you actually try that one or not?
No.
Okay, yeah, that's people have been having issues with that one as well because people are trying to hit their skirmish fleet is. I haven't hit it either. I mean, I looked at it, but I guess the drone-looking things are actually UAVs, and they can't be hit by torpedoes. So people trying to kill them with fangs, it was useless. And Mike, you tried it, right?
No, he said he just peeked it with a gunboat. I mean, I have someone in my alliance that tried it, and they both went in and both lost their fleets in the second one. So I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe it'll come out balanced.
But I think Mike told me he got 12 hours of damage and wasn't killing anything. So, because they're supposed to actually be aerial based. They're, those are above the water, so torpedoes can't hit them. So
UAVs, not drones.
That's the mechanism it looks like, because I said earlier, Rampage said that you're supposed to be hitting the blue droney UAV looking thing with siege weapons.
Weren't we just talking about consistency? I mean,
no, you were talking about consistency. They never acknowledge you.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Too much to ask for, I guess.
Yeah.
So we are also talking around. What do you think about what's going on with the progression of the onslaught, as far as how that's working and progressing in the PvP game?
No comments.
Okay. All right.
Boy.
Alrighty.
I must have missed something. You guys are having too much fun talking about the onslaught.
I don't know.
No, I've just look, with all the changes, I just said fuck it, I'm not doing PvP again. Like I went and went out of my way, used every damn token I had to get some onslaughts out, and they were fun. And then surprise, I said fuck it. I ain't refitting kings. I'm not refitting anything anymore.
Hey, here's the one comment I'm gonna make about the onslaught, however you pronounce that.
Onslaught.
The eviscerators are great without armor.
Yeah, which is really surprising, because I remember seeing that people talking about the eviscerators versus the Boulderfist, and the Boulderfist on paper looks like the preferable hull to go against them, because the extended ballistic range, and then I just don't, like something's not kosher with what's going on with the Eviscerator is all I'm sort of saying.
And I think the Eviscerator is great. At least what I've seen is they hold up well, but they still just don't do enough DPS against the onslaught.
I wish I had one.
What?
I wish I had one.
What, an Eviscerator?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're nice, and I got hit by 3 Eviscerators the other day, and they do take a chunk out of them, but it's still just not enough. They can just still drive right by, My Eviscerator was alive, but they still got to my OP.
Huh, interesting. Okay.
Now, if it was just one, maybe,
Yeah, what I just said about the Eviscerators, and the reason I brought them up, it's because they are cheap. Cheap to repair. It's 30 minutes. They work really well without any armor. If you want to put armor, you put something like, I don't know, D2E or the War Plate or something like that. But their built-in deflection is just good enough for a lot of fun if you want. And if you don't put any armor, you have 3-4 in a fleet. It's like 2 hours of repair if it dies completely, which it rarely does. So I just like it. I mean, people who want to do some PvP but don't want to go nuts about it, coining the latest and greatest, Eviscerators are great.
Okay, you were talking about them as a offensive hull. I know a lot of people have been using them as patrols.
Oh yeah, I have one in my guard, and I have 3 to attack. They're set up differently, but yeah, just some say all around a great PvP hull.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just listening because it doesn't really. You're putting chaos chain mortars, chain guns on them, I assume, which doesn't. I don't know. There's something in the math there. I'm sure I'm missing, or because of the reduced range and whatnot, for ballistic on the Eviscerator. So, but if you're putting something else on them or whatnot, I'm just trying to throw out the conversation.
Yeah, no, I have a mix. The 2 out of the 3 I use to attack are sinful scatterguns, and 1 of them only is chain guns.
And your defense, I mean, I'm assuming the defensive one personally is the chaos.
It's both. It's I think 4 of each or something like that.
Okay, all right.
Because the cool thing is all the corrosive specials you put in, they also buff the chain gun.
Yeah, but is that actually breaking through anybody's deflection? Is the actual?
It depends. I mean, if you're hit by a Boulderfist and the Boulderfist doesn't have the right armor, corrosive deflection just destroys them. Corrosive damage destroys them.
Okay.
So wait, I'm confused. Are we talking about them as a base hitter now, or as a defender again?
Well, we're talking about using them everywhere. So, yeah, that's Ren's using them defensively and offensively.
Because it seems like with a lot of their deflection stats that you could, with defensive ships with chaos on them right now, you could buff some of those stats up to get past that deflection, and it seems like they would go down pretty quickly. Just looking at the math. But again, in defensive position, they do really well. So maybe there's something to that.
Yep. And like I said, for players who are not heavily invested in PvP but want to have something, I'd say the best something you could have right now that's very versatile is the Eviscerator, either with chain guns or with sinful scatter guns or a mix. They're just like jack of all trades, and they're very good.
Too bad they were worthless before, and I didn't do the TLC.
Same.
I mean, this is one of those things. It's again. I don't know. Overnight, something changes, and surprise. Just some consistency, please.
Yeah, I mean, they were sort of sold as the new Punisher. I mean, so I guess, I don't know. I mean, again, like I've sort of been saying, there's something not missing in the actual blueprint that makes them as effective as they are.
Maybe it's the pass-through.
In which blueprint? The Eviscerator?
Yeah, the Eviscerator. I mean, it's like, why is it working better than the Boulderfist? And both, especially in the defensive role, that's where I looked at it more.
Well, the Boulderfist sucks to destroy buildings as an attacker, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying as people, a lot of people are putting the Eviscerator as their base patrol, their defender fleet. Why is the Eviscerator working better? Because I've heard that from multiple people, and I just don't see why that is.
I guess it depends on what you're using to attack. Because if you attack a Boulderfist with corrosive, concussive, or radioactive, it dies really fast. And then if you put the D6U armor, you raise the pass-through, and it still dies really fast. While the Eviscerator has all 6 deflections at a very good level with a low pass-through.
But the Eviscerator can also be sniped by everything. The cannons. Okay, well, the Sinful Scatterguns have a range of 100.
Yeah.
The cannons you put it on are only going to have a range of 75. Because the Boulderfist has a plus 50 ballistic range buff that's built into the hull, while the Eviscerator only has a plus 25.
Yeah, but again, I mean, if I have an Eviscerator in my guard with Sinful Scatterguns, and you're coming with a Boulderfist, which is weak against corrosive, they're going to match ranges, and the Eviscerator is very tanky against ballistic or all the 6 types. So even if it's a chain gun firing at an Eviscerator, they're all doing the minimum pass-through, right? And your corrosive is actually eating the Boulderfist alive.
But the Chaos Chain Gun minimum damage is much higher than the Scattergun. Like about 3 times.
No, doesn't make sense what you're saying.
No. As far as the minimum pass through per second, higher for having Chaos Chain Guns than it would be with Sinful Scatterguns because of the damage type.
But it depends if the boulder has the new armor or not. Because if it does, then you're talking pass-through. But if it doesn't, then it's doing real damage, like above deflection, because the corrosive deflection on the boulder sucks.
Okay. Holtz, what are you doing?
Messing with the Eviscerator builds.
I see. There were some noises going on there. Like I wasn't sure if he was eating or coming up with a new build. Like, I heard some noises over there that are,
I think my roommate hit the wall in our room, so that's probably the thump. Let's see.
So
I'm waiting for Rum's rent.
There is no rent tonight.
Oh.
You promised one earlier, Rum.
I thought about it. There's just too much broken shit. That's my rant.
I see. Well, they fixed it for you, so you're in better shape than you were. Well, not really, because,
Yeah.
You sneeze into 100 gold.
Right. I'm not that massive a coiner.
So, I'm trying to think of anything else. I think, like I said, the TLCs, the recent TLCs have been, like I said, a gift, I think, to the player base. We still don't know about Zoe's headquarters. That one appears to be a little bit different, but we'll see. But in general, the last Hidden Depths and Hidden Depths was great. It was fairly easy to accomplish if you have the right tech. And now they've taken it the next step to allow Alliance members or friends of people to assist people as far as getting up and going for the raid. I think that's the first time we've seen something like that. I can't recall seeing something like this in years, except for actually be able to help people in co-op targets in the raid, which has been gone for a couple of years at this point, right?
I think they did a good thing.
Like I said, I like the TLC. I like that it's out. I want to see more. I do. I think it helps the whole damn community. Good first step.
Okay, the whole damn community. Are you referring to? Is that a shot at Rum, or I'm not sure?
No, that
That's
was
all you can do was laugh.
rum doesn't count.
Okay. All right.
So I see we have a request for suggestions for raid, and or did you talk about how the Omega gun kills the King's Writ now?
How about a raid that works first time, right time?
No, I think we should go to Grimace's last point, as far as how the Omega gun changed. Now that people had a chance after they adjusted the, it's no longer a turret, even though it wasn't supposed to be a turret. Then it was a turret, and then it wasn't a turret, and so
well, technically it was released as a turret. That's what they called it.
Yeah.
But again, consistency.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not, besides testing and whatnot, I'm not sure how they, how they fix some of this stuff, and
Wait, Hulsh, are you kicking around empty beer cans now? What the fuck, dude?
It sounds like somebody's got like a bunch of sound effects that they're putting in the chat. I'm not sure who it is, But I'm sorry. Never mind. Somebody talk about something. I need to go get a beer after that.
We'll get some more sound effects.
Oh yeah. Let's listen if we can hear the sound.
No, he muted himself.
Yeah, he learned this time. What was the other question, Grimace? Something about raid?
I just saw they said suggestions for raid, and that's all that was said. So
hit shit, get points, don't die. That work?
George,
that sounds like a good suggestion, right?
Any indication that they're going to preview?
Just be prepared for things to be stronger than they were last time, just like every other raid,
I don't know, man. I just hope they have it set up so we don't have craziness again. That's all.
I wonder if we're gonna get. Remember how it was that the last raid series where they kept adding more like top tier campaigns, and they moved the other ones down. Is that the last raid series?
Yeah, it was last raid series. I don't know. They might. I just don't want to see escalation. I'm dreading that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely dreading escalation. And
plus 3 more CICs, another launcher, another cannon, another ballistic special. It's nothing.
Yeah, we had all the time in the world to fit that, and then we have what? March is the. Did they say March or April for the FM change? March, right?
I think it's March.
Yeah. It's the week after raid.
It's the week after raid, huh?
First week of March or last of February.
Fantastic.
I'm kidding. I have no idea.
I'm just, I don't know. When they put that out in the state of the game, everybody was like, "Hey, that looks like that might be a problem." And lo and behold, it's starting to look like a problem because I don't have my hydras done at all. Like, I don't even have a one full complete hull yet, and I've only got two of them building. So, yeah, this will be fun.
Yeah, I'm working on my first one to finish it. Still, I have some blank holes built, but nothing finished on the hydras. I was kind of I was listening to Hefe, and he was like, "I'm just waiting for the escalation weapons to come out, to equip those." And it might be smart.
You know, at this point, I think I might go back to just trying to crank out the blanks just so I can get them ranked.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how I'm building my Hydras. That's why I only have Buccaneers. And I've been slow building my Hydras with some specials I don't think will change and charged armor that I don't think will change. One of each. But the CIC slots blank, half the weapon slots are blank, a couple special slots are blank. I'm just waiting for the escalation stuff. If it comes now in February, great. By March, I'll have them with the new stuff already.
Yeah. See, I mean, I was trying to get one out at least so I could have it to try stuff, and I don't know. I spent all my time on the Buccaneer and the Boon, and those are, I think, all done. And lo and behold, we have, you know, a TLC with stuff that I could have done it with.
Yeah. My Buccaneers are missing armor. They still have only one plate of each.
Yeah. See, I went all out. I got all the armor on. I don't know. That's why I don't have anything for the Hydra.
But those tokens are going to come in handy when the escalation stuff comes out. You can just swap a lot of things over, you know.
That's true.
And even this generic in the other TLC, I forgot which one, Hidden Depths or Hunter Games, one of them has those generic skirmish tokens.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm saving mine for August.
Me too.
I'm just stacking them, and when August comes and the skirmish whole brand new comes out for the September raid, I'm gonna have as many of those skirmish tokens as possible.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's what we've been telling people in our alliance to do if they can. You know, if they don't need those for anything, save them up.
They're just chore fleets now, right?
There's what?
They're just chore fleets now, the skirmish.
Yeah, but some people don't even have those, so they were kind of playing catch up, you know.
Oh yeah, and some people only had one, but now the TLCs require you to have both, so they're kind of building the other one now.
Oh, for TLCs, yeah. I was going to say for chores, I mean, you can help those guys by, you know, prepping. But, yeah, I see.
I don't think people can, in the long run, relying on other people prepping stuff for you is not a viable strategy.
Not 100%. No.
It's a patch, but, you know, you got to build the stuff you need if you want to play the game.
Well,
if you want to. Right?
Especially since we have, you know, certain targets that you can't retreat out of, so you have to sit there and wait for them to time out if you're going to prep.
Yeah, glowing nabs, yeah.
And that makes it very difficult.
Base parts. Yeah. But that's inspiration.
I can barely hear Mike.
Same here.
Really? Sorry.
Well, you're lucky.
Oh,
God.
You know how to hurt a guy.
I'll boost your volume. But does anybody think it's too late to do a similar thing like they did with Hidden Depths, with like Skyfire and the Assault phase, or because it's coming up so soon?
Do it for all of them. Hell.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to keep them rolling and just let people get caught up if they want to.
Yeah, because here's the thing, even if you're caught up, I mean, you know, it's Battle Pirates. We like actually, you know, messing with builds. That's a great way to engage, you know, your players without pissing them off.
No, George, you're wrong. We don't like messing up with the builds. We like going to pages and asking for a build.
Oh, that's right.
Without searching first.
That's right. That's right. Demand it.
Yeah. Give me a Huggies link now. The best Fangtooth build I can have. Now.
Not a link to anything else. I want a Huggies build and a Huggies build only.
I don't want to watch it. No goddamn videos. I don't want to read no blogs. I want a Huggies link now. Stat.
Yep.
I don't want to search. No time for that.
And they still can't drive, so they sink to the bottom and blame you for your shitty build.
Yep, that's right.
A guy the other day actually posted a really good build and said, my build sucks. I can't do what you guys are doing. What's the problem with my build? And we look at the build like, well, the build's good. Well, what are you going to say? The build's good.
Like that.
Yep.
Today there was a guy who was funny. I was reading some posts, right? And then I felt the level of stupid was very high today. And the guy saying, oh, I can activate the TLC. What's wrong? How many legendary ships I need in my fleet to be able to activate? Because it says I need legendary. And you go like, dude, it's recommended legendary. You can activate because it only starts in 2 hours, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Then the guy replies, oh, I'm in the East Coast. That's probably why I can activate then.
Good one.
Yeah, buddy, you got it.
That one, damn it.
I screenshotted it.
That's awesome. Oh my. Yep. Did he demand to, like, you know, get them to change their the time zone just to accommodate him?
No. But then another guy, because it kept rolling, man. Like, guys were on the road today. The other guy then asked, "Oh, has anyone tried Singluts on the TLC?"
Oh man, come on.
Yeah. And and probably 10 different people saying, "Oh, another TLC just for high levels." And like, no, it's co-op. You help the low levels. Yeah, but so you gotta have Buccaneers to get the Buccaneers, because I saw in your video you use Buccaneers. I'm like, no, hello, co-op.
Yeah. That's. I mean, it's. I don't know. I don't know about the second target, but the path to the continent is. Like I said, I keep on saying it's just a gift from Kick's eye.
It's the closest they could have to, like, just, hey, here's the freaking fleet, guy, just build it.
Yeah.
It's a freebie for all intents and purposes. As long as you can have one person helping you, it's a freebie.
Yeah.
Full package, no substandard, the top new weapon, the top new special, the ship. The only thing that's missing is the flagship. Right? And then, you know, there are ways you can get charged armor. You know, it's not right there, but it gives you enough time to build the ships.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little, you know, like I said earlier, like when I opened the show, I just a little bit of, unless they've changed their stripes or spots or whatever the right thing to say is, I'm just afraid that it's like too much at this point. That they're, you know, the raid target is going to be something that even the high level players need to use it. But at this point, I'm not thinking that. That's just in the back of my mind, because there's been some changes, and I hope it's more. Okay, let's make sure everybody can participate, and that's more what I'm thinking at this point. Is just hoping that everybody has the opportunity to participate in the raid, as opposed to we're going to have a massive change where we want to swap off this special and change weapons and do different things once the raid starts. And that's, you know, that's my fear, just based on, you know, some of the more recent past practices. But I don't know that that's going to happen. But I would recommend that everybody does it to their fullest ability.
Get them while you got this getting.
Yep. All right. We've only got an hour. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about? I mean, you know, there's Teslas flying around in space at this point, which I'm not sure how that's going to work out.
Did you see them land those damn boosters? That was
awesome.
Phenomenal. That was absolutely stunning.
That was the most beautiful thing I saw this year.
That was great. I was like, you got, like, I made all of my kids come and watch that shit. I was like, you got to see this shit. Come here.
Yeah.
Oh, Ren hasn't seen the show with Miss Mega Augmentation. Or Mega Augmentation. What was the name of that special? Mega Augmentation. Okay.
Mass Augmentation.
Mass Augmentation, yes. Yes. Yeah, she was cute too. Everybody liked her, but was somebody backing up a truck there for a while?
So it sounded like to me.
I'm not sure what's going on with this show in particular, but it sounds like somebody just, you know,
half of them came from you.
I don't think so. During the actual show? No,
that was pre-show.
That was pre-show. Yeah. That was just a, you know.
Pre-show, there was the near, whatever the hell it was coming from your phone.
Okay. I'll believe you on that one. But I'm just trying to think if there's anything else since we have this group together as far as, anybody in the community want to,
I thought of something and then all the beeping distracted me and I totally forgot what I was going to ask.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even sure. I'm not even going to project on what you were going to ask. Because we could go to the after show at this point, unless anybody has anything else. I mean, we've ran our hour that everybody paid for. I mean, well, I see Earth's on. Let me see if he wants to join. And
FA Cyber stalking everybody. Good grief.
No, whatever. I mean, he likes to come on the show. And but unless anybody has anything else, I guess we can go to the after show. I think we had some good things to say.
Rampage just posted up too that due to problems with the campaign, it's going to remain off for the weekend. There's always Legion one.
Okay, so that means it's off for the weekend. Meaning,
I guess we're not seeing it until after the raid, unless they're going to stick it up for a day or two before the raid, which would be crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there was the issue as far as when the attacker was going to get their trust, but it was too easy to be exploited. As far as like what I talked about earlier, just somebody continually hitting for other people and ending up with months of tokens.
I'm just upset I may not have my American flag Bucky or Boone, whatever it goes on.
Yeah, I mean,
for the raid.
I mean, Ren, Ren, what do you think about this? I mean, there's only the USA flag going on there. There's no Brazilian. There's no Canadian.
I guess, I don't know, maybe 80-85% of their players are from the USA. I'm not buying it, of course.
They actually came out with a Brazilian skin for a normal. Well, I mean, that has multiple meanings, but it actually came out with a Brazilian skin for a ship. Would you buy it?
Hey, if they want to have a ship with the Brazilian skin, just leave it naked.
Yeah, want to shave off all those little details on the ship. Just have it be a little bit smoother, right?
Yeah.
So, Earth said he's coming on. I, hopefully has something to say. Because he may, he's. I think it's what number 1 is U.S., number 2 is UK, and then it's close between the Aussies and the Canadians as far as number 3 as far as participation.
Yeah, that's what I have on my YouTube channel. It's pretty much that: US, UK, then Canada.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes the Aussies show up ahead of because you have a special link with the Canadian viewership.
No comments.
Okay, it's all right. All right. All righty. Well, I guess we're going to end the show at this point. We're going to talk about
That's it. Hashtag time's up.
I don't know. Unless anybody said, we can talk about live. We can talk about glitches with Strange Brew and things of that nature. Or is that? No, you hadn't seen that movie, right?
Actually, it's kind of funny that you just mentioned that because I was testing Cruise last night, and I'm kind of on the line of I think a couple of them might not be working right.
Crews aren't working correctly?
I'm talking about the Cruise, yeah. I was testing a couple of different Cruise last night.
Huh. Was it the same sort of categories that we saw associated with the retrofit laboratory?
As a matter of fact, they were.
Oh, okay. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, I showed it to somebody that was like, thinking, somebody that was in game development years ago, and he's like, "Wow, this is old stuff." You know, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's why I showed it to you." And he was like, I didn't get any real response on it, but it was like he was just surprised that the stuff was so old that was broken.
I want to know how they got in there and broke it in the first place. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But I'll be doing more testing probably this weekend if I get some time and see if it was just, you know, one of those weird encounters in the testing or what. But I was not happy at all.
Well, I mean, the splash crew seems to work. I notice a difference with that one. So a lot of these ones are difficult to, like, we didn't see it for so long. Do you mind telling us like which attributes?
The splash one is actually one of the ones that I did last night.
Okay, and you didn't think it was working?
Oh no, it does do something, but it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. There's a difference. At least not in the 3 FM targets that I hit.
Yeah, because I was hitting with the splash road crew in the 115s, and I was noticing, it was taking out targets that if I did not have the crew, so I just assumed it was working. I wasn't working on the percentage base.
Yeah, it's supposed to have 15 or just under 14% more spread and then 30% more splash. And if you come up along the sides where you can see it with the buildings on the top right, that's probably the easiest one because you got that, what the hell is it, that rocket turret. And you can see how far, you target that cold snap and you can see how far the buildings are to the left that you destroy or damage. Run it with and run it without. And tell me that you're getting, because by the numbers, you should be reaching a lot further than it is. But, you know, and I have 2 different monolith builds that I was testing it with too. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, it does something. It adds some splash. I don't know that it adds 30% splash, but we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah, and whether it's adding 30% splash to the base splash of the ship or the total splash with everything equipped on it. I mean, or is it just adding it to the weapon itself? There's different questions. Yeah, there's different questions of like where it's getting added in.
Well, the reason why I had I started testing is because with one of the Molotov maidens before, I would take my monos and I'd go up the side and I'd kill just about more than half of those things on the first volley. What I'm finding now, especially and you can see it with some of the other things as you're going around, you'll do damage on the first volley, and then after that, there's no more damage at that same range. So it's like it happens the very first hit, and that's it. The Molotov Maiden used to let me kill the second Drak Carrier. When I was targeting one, I would kill or just about kill the other one. Now I don't. It's just strange little things that just aren't adding up. So something's not quite working right. So, but again, more testing. I only did 3 of them, so could be an anomaly.
Okay. Hey, Irf. We brought you in to talk about the fact that there's only a USA skin for the Buccaneer. Your thoughts on this?
You can celebrate us giving you all your country. It's fine.
Okay.
Giving, huh? Is that how it works?
Yeah. It's quite a gift. I think there's a lot of lead exchange over that.
Irf was never dumped. He did the dumping every time.
I'm sorry.
Hey, we give every other country back, so just as well add you to the list, isn't it?
Well, you know, All right. Anything else, Irv? I mean, we were tempted to wind it down because we were running out of content. But how are you doing with? Are you getting hit by onslaught?
But not so much this week, but last week, fuck, unbelievable. And yeah, got raped big time.
Okay. So people are.
But then I don't have the kinetic, and I don't have the chaos, which is kind of a bit of a cunt, really.
Yeah. So what do you think?
I apologize about language, but I just want to express that in a way that everybody knows how fucking pissed off I am about it.
Are you pissed off, dude?
Yeah,
just a little bit.
I think we established that part.
He hasn't swore enough to be pissed off. I don't believe him.
Yeah,
What, do you want me to just call everybody fucking idiot again and say?
I don't know if we have to go that far.
But yeah. No, so yeah, it's kind of it's a bit of a bastard for me at the minute because I don't have some stuff that would make it easier for me. Mm-hmm. For one, I don't have Inquisitors, which is not good. I did find though that two Harlox Atlas carriers with locusts on kills an onslaught extremely quickly.
I guess because of the reload time, right?
Yeah.
Do those UAVs actually work with a reload? I mean, holy shit. They couldn't get the other one to work.
Yeah, well, those were not splat.
It only works on the Harlox Atlas carrier though. If you then transfer that across to a Harlox Alpha, not a chance. Nowhere near it. It's crazy.
So maybe the Harlox Alpha's on that was broken. Have you tried it with the Cesium Scarab by chance?
I refitted mine instantly. And I tried it with that, and yeah, it just didn't do shit. So yeah, I wasn't very impressed about that either. But there we go.
Huh, interesting. Yeah, I'm not even sure how that magic worked.
I know, I got a video somewhere.
Okay. Midgets and UAVs. Look it up on YouTube, everybody.
We need him to test out the Cesium Scarab now.
No.
I'm actually slow refitting to Cesium Scarab just to try it out. Hornets on Harlox absolutely raped the shit out of them. Because I thought, well, I'm gonna try FVF style. I'm gonna go, and I've had like 3 Harlox with locusts on, and I had 2 with Hornets, and I tried the Hornet one. It was like literally just watching the health bar go down, like. Zip. But then you transfer it across to new attack, like the Harlox Alpha, it doesn't work. So.
Yeah. Hefe, is that what we were testing the Cesium on? Was the Harlox Alpha?
No, I think it was the base Alpha, the regular Alpha Behemoth. Because I didn't put it was the base. It was the regular Alpha Behemoth is what we were doing the testing on.
Huh.
It wasn't the Harlox.
Shit, maybe the whole Alpha line.
He's talking about. Are you talking about the Harlock? Which Harlock are you talking about, Irv?
The Harlock Atlas carrier.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah, those things absolutely rape onslaughts. Like they're like nothing. As soon as you switch to new attack, don't do shit.
Okay. Next time we're going to use a different word, but because I've been looking at the the reloads of some of this stuff, and I'm still because I looked at the UAVs and I'm trying to figure out. I mean, there's some other. I'm not even sure how to introduce this, But as far as like how these reloads work and how they don't work, because I was always underneath the assumption that 0.2 seconds was the minimum reload for any weapon. And I'm not certain that that's true at this point. Does anybody want to agree or disagree with what I'm talking about?
It used to not be until we got the friggin' the hell was that damn rocket ship, the Blitzer?
Icebreaker?
No, way before
Hellstrike.
that. Hellstrike. Thank you. Hellstrike.
See, I'm paying attention.
Yeah. We didn't have a 0.2 floor until that came out, and people went nutty with the special for the rocket reload on it, and it just jacked everything up. That's when they implemented it. Now, whether or not they implemented it on UAVs, that's a whole other story. I don't know. But we didn't always have that floor.
Well, Hornets have got, I think they've got like a linger time of about 4 seconds, a reload of 1 second, and then the UAV reload is like 0.2.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it's doing a lot of minimum damage in today's game. Locusts hang around for like 14 seconds if you are 15 out on them. With a similar thing, it's every 0.2 or 0.4, I think, something like that. It's interesting. Obviously, trying it with the Harlox Atlas, which is what I tried against Treble from, I can't remember which ally it is now, but Rosser or something like that.
I wonder if the Warbird
tried it FES style, and it was literally just tearing shreds out of it. But then when you transfer it across, it literally does nothing at all. And it's kind of weird how that's set up, because the bonuses for damage on both of them are pretty similar. So I don't know.
But damage bonuses really wouldn't work or matter, right? It'd be reload bonuses, right?
Well, exactly, yeah. So, but I'd be fucked if I know. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm looking at it, and the Harlock has the UAV damage is 60. The Warbird has a 50, and the damn Alpha has, what is it, like 80?
Yeah,
85, some shit like that. Huh. Oh, there's a swarm time cap on the Alpha though. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That might be it.
See, it's the whole stories every once in a while. You know, it sounds like he's either having sex or eating a steak. I'm not sure.
I don't even know why.
Like, you know, once we break through something that Holt should go figure out, so he makes that noise. It's always amusing. Which one was it, Holt?
Yes, that'll be what it is. It'll be the swarm cap on it.
It's a swarm cap on it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because as well, you've got we found that you could pretty much annihilate an onslaught with a fleet of sky carriers as well.
But, I'm wondering if I have a Warbird kicking around still. I think I scrapped everything else.
The trouble is with that though is that one sniff of any splash damage and you're screwed with it, aren't you? So with anything like a Harlox Atlas or anything like that, because it's assault, you can't fit anything that's worthwhile to it to make it last long enough to do any real damage. But
so is anybody expecting a UAV turret coming out in the anytime soon?
UAV turret?
Whatever. Why does it have to be on a ship?
What planet? I mean, come on.
UAV turret.
I don't understand why it needs to be ship-based.
Well, it wouldn't be a turret, would it be? It would be an airfield, wouldn't it?
Right.
Let's be fair.
Maybe it would. Maybe it shoots the UAV out and launches it.
Yeah, just like the Predators used to be launched off that one of those little slingshot things.
Yeah, it's a big rubber band, and they're shooting them out. It's all good.
There you go.
So next
I think it's time they bring something to be the new, kind of like the new Brimstone missile in our bases. Because I kind of like that sort of turret that merged in 5, 6, 8 projectiles. I mean, you only have old stuff like that. It'd be cool to have something new that works like that. I like that mechanic.
Okay. Ren's a big
No, it was fun. I like that one. The one I didn't like was the what the hell was that missile that merved?
But yeah, before the Brimstone, there was another one. But the Brimstone was like that too.
Halos, right?
Yeah, the Halos. I did not like those.
I did. I mean, it was cool. The Halo, the Brimstone was like the river version of the Halo. That was cool.
Yeah. A lot of Merving going on. Northman, how are you doing?
Hello, guys. I'm good.
Okay.
Mute YouTube.
Okay, YouTube.
Yeah.
Echo.
No, you didn't.
Another one, Jeff, that they could bring back. I'm trying to remember the name. That turret that started as a missile and then went in a straight line, but then left like 4, 5, 6 puddles of fire on the water.
That's the napalm.
Napalm, yeah.
That one. I kind of like that one. They could have something like that for today's game.
Yeah, strategically, yeah, I like that one. And it also did multiple damage types. It was penetrative and radioactive at the same time. Yeah. It was.
But I think they had some cool mechanics in game that they could try and bring back, just like they did the Cannibal Wendigo. They could do the new Napalm, the new Halo or Brimstone, whatever whatchamacallit. Would be nice.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It would add. Yeah. But as long as they balance everything else, I mean, I think that's the way they should move forward. They balance everything else, and then they start adding these things in with like different mechanics, and then make people design their base around these different mechanics, not sort of like click at the back of the base or build it this way. Provide a little bit more. What's the word? Je ne sais quoi.
Go back 2 years and like completely get rid of the crap that has caused the shit, which was putting shit in boxes.
Okay. George, you gonna cut off? Later, George.
I don't think they can fix it myself. I think it's screwed.
Yeah, no, I think they can fix it. I mean, they made the choice to change up, who's doing what. And
roll back the old school.
Yes. So, all right. I'm gonna go for another beer in a minute. Does anybody have anything else to say, or should I take it to the after show so we don't have an awkward silence with Rum Runner explaining what's going on with his
or snoring randomly, saying that he's not asleep, but snoring.
I'm not asleep.
He's not asleep. Well, besides the point where you were snoring on the show, yeah.
When?
I've
never snored at the show.
Holsh has been there.
Holsh is the one making the weird noises. He's a ventriloquist.
You were the one snoring.
No, it was you snoring and you making it come through my mic.
Yeah, these things might have happened. Northman, do you have anything to add at this point?
Sorry, I got in late, but so I don't know what the topic was. Sorry.
Oh, we have multiple topics.
It was Battle Pirates.
Yeah, Battle Pirates.
I know that is Battle Pirates. So don't be a smartass, Ren.
No.
I'm all smart, not just yes.
Yeah. No, he wasn't. Ren wasn't being a smartass. He was just, because we were covering anything any topic. So he wasn't being a smartass.
Okay.
You know.
Now the game, as I see it, it's become very complicated. I think that's a sound assessment of what's going on these days.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you need to have, or not have, but back in the days, and I think way back, it was more simpler. It was concussive, penetrating, and whatnot. And now you have this game that needs calculating all sort of stuff. So the game is more complicated, and I'm not sure that's the way to go to get more players to play the game. That's my opinion. It was simple before.
It wasn't. It was sort of simple. Yeah, it was.
It was simpler before. Before you got deflection, before you got whatnot in base defense.
Yeah. Once they started adding things like splash dispersion, and then we don't understand what's going on in critical hits. There's a lot of things that have happened. I do agree with you that have made it much more difficult for this to be a strategy game, and you figure out what's going to happen. Because what's going, if somebody's going to show up and explain exactly how splash dispersion works, as it works relative to charged armor, deflection, everything else in the game, there's a lot of odd things going on. I definitely agree with you.
There's a lot of uncertainties. When we started playing back, how long is it? 7-8 years now.
Yeah,
it was simpler, floating fortress, mort, and whatnot. And you could keep up. I have kept up for many years, but the last year, counting from today and back, the game has really progressed into something that isn't that easy to understand in a way. And if you're a new player, that's even worse. I can imagine some stuff, and I can get along with some stuff, but I've been playing since 7 years back. But if you're a new player, it's impossible for you to understand a shit what's going on.
No, I completely agree with that part of it, that new players are not going to be able to understand this. And most of the current players aren't going to understand a lot of it. They're just going to, like Ren said earlier, they're going to demand a build. They're going to not figure it out on their own. It's not really the same thing.
To be honest, mate, I think a lot of people that I know who were like reasonably up together with it and thought of stuff on their own and stuff like that are now turning around and just going, this is too much for me. I don't want to sit here and do like 8 hours worth of math to see which armor I should put on a fucking ship, or whether I should or shouldn't put it on there, or whether I should do this or whether I should do that. And I'm not going to sit here changing out all of my fleets to go to pass-through damage when deflection's been the thing for the last 2 years and stuff. It's just pissed people off.
I agree 100%. That's a good statement.
And then not having the math actually work out the way it should.
Well, exactly, because I tried to work out the math and thought, well, this is going to be nice and easy. I'll work out the math, it'll all be good. And none of it works whatsoever. So back to the drawing board, and I was like, well, you know what? I'm just going to get smashed, and I don't really care. And that's the way that it's going to be. And I won't spend any money on base defense until it's sorted to a point where I can have an educated guess as to what I'm dealing with, and that'll be the way that it is. Simple enough.
Well, and like Hefe said, there's so many things that we still don't really know how they work, that even if you can do the math, you can't, because there's so many holes. You're like, well, what do I put here? What value is this? And we don't know. So you can kind of guess.
Yeah.
But even if you work it out, it's not even close. Like, Not even close. Even if you use all the figures that are available to you and things that we know are as a constant and stuff like that, it is not.
That's what we were saying. There's other things going on.
Close.
There's other things happening, just like with what we were talking about earlier with the Eviscerator and the Boulderfist. You know, there's some weird stuff going on there.
Yeah, I think the game has just been too complicated before. You know, you get home from work, you can have some fun for a couple of hours, hit some bases, you got hit back, and that was relaxing fun, you know. But now it's complicated. It's not just a game you can come home and relax, have fun. It's just so much more. And
yeah,
I think that's the wrong way to go. You know,
what they should have done, in my personal opinion, is just gone, right, this is where it is. It's got out of hand. We know it's got out of hand. It's got out of hand. We're going to nerf the shit out of everything to get everybody back on a fucking level playing field, and then we're not going to raise the bar from here. We're going to do little micro swings from defense and attack, and we'll keep it all pretty level. And I think everybody would have just been happy.
Exactly. I agree 100%. You know, the game...
Instead, they've just added a new game mechanic in that's clearly not working right now. Nobody knows how to work it out. Nobody has the inside knowledge of how the fuck Kicksai have worked their fucking sums on it, because I don't know what kind of math they use, but it's different to the one that I use. And it's just annoyed the crap out of everybody because there's so many people. I probably reckon probably 60% at least of the BP population have no clue whatsoever as to how it works. They're still kind of in the dark because the explanation didn't really kind of fill me with excitement as to how they...
You know, this G.Day Raken, he's on some shows and he's talking, and you know, what the fuck? I'm just a normal person. I have a game that I try to amuse myself with, and he goes on and talk about shit. And you know, if I wanted that complicated game, I would be in another place than this. You know, I want to have a fleet go out and smash bases. My base got flattened. What the fuck is the mystery? Why the fuck include so many things that so many players do not understand? And the drop rate is drastically high. You know, so many people stop playing the game. And before it was the coining, but now it's just...
I don't fucking all comes down. It comes down to the same thing that we say pretty much every week, is this game is becoming more of a job than it is about fun. Bring the fun back, people.
It's been that way for a while.
It's not hard. We say it every single week. Bring back the fun. Get rid of the chores. Get rid of the fact that you've got to do 8 hours of fucking math before you decide on a final build of a ship. And then then
it still doesn't work.
It doesn't work because the math's wrong. Because we haven't got
it doesn't work that way in the game.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, there are a few shows here that has something to say, and they have a shitload of followers. So I think the TSE page have like 13K people that watch the show on the page. Sorry. And, you know, the only thing we can do to actually stop Kicksai is actually to sit down. But there ain't no goddamn group that takes that stand and try to do something. We just tag along and we get them on the show and we kiss their asses, and that's just fucking weak. That's my opinion. Sorry.
I wouldn't do that though. That's why they won't come here on this show, because they know damn well that
Yeah, but there are other shows. You know, I see people go on each show and they have their say and whatnot. But the only reason we can have something to do, and actually one time the community stand together, and that's many, many years back, and that's when they introduced the rest, that you could not do the rest without paying a lot of coins, and the community just went bananas, and that's like 4 or 5 years ago, and they re-rolled the game. But from that date, the community has just been tag-alongs and whatnot. And yeah, that's my personal opinion. I've been watching shows for many, many years, and we don't have the guts to stand up to Kickside. They know what to do. There are people that spend the coin, and that's why the game is keeping on like they do.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest revolt against Kickside was not. Is Ren still on the show? No, Ren's still there. He'll remember the biggest Kickside revolt was over changing the graphics on the turret. And that was so
and making the Seawolf look like a piece of pizza that someone had been sick on.
Yeah. We were so fucking upset about some graphical changes they made, and yeah, they rolled it all back. Yeah. I mean
I call that the awesome graphic update. The awesome graphic update, and we just kept them. Throwing that on his face every chance we had after that. The awesome graphical update lasted, 3 days?
Yeah, because people stopped playing. This was in the height of the game. And I was so,
Yeah, I can even tell which ship was which.
We're going to make a stand on something that wasn't it. I mean, it's, that wasn't the right point to make a stand like that. And the other big stand that the players made was when they got rid of glitch repairing. And, it's the player base hasn't. I mean, I'm all about the player base. If you've watched the show and this show is about trying to inform and trying to help the game, because I've been playing it for a fucking long time. And, a lot of people on the show have been playing for a long time. And it's, we don't revolt necessarily at the right times. I'm not suggesting that we revolt at any point in time, but when we have revolted, it's been silly. I mean, it's been, when they changed the graphics on the turret, and then, everybody's like, I'm quitting. I can't glitch repair anymore. Those were 2 times where I was like, oh my fucking God, this is like, I don't want to back this community at this point. I mean, we have different issues now in the game that we did not have at that point. But at that point, I was like, I didn't want to support the player base because it was like, okay, you can't glitch repair anymore, and I'm gonna quit. Okay, well, it's all good for you. And then and then we made the graphic. What did you call them? The awesome graphic update. Yeah, I mean, there's bigger issues out there. This is not. I don't know. It's. I've been playing the game for a long time.
The game is just completely and utterly fundamentally flawed by the fact that sort of at least 60% of the player base don't understand what in the fuck is going on.
Yeah, and 80% of the players is because they have long-time friends for many, many years. That is the biggest reason we suck up to this game in one way. But I really hope I'm sure it will never happen. But if the player group take a stand, that's the only reason we can get the Kickside to bend down. If not, we're gonna coin, we're gonna suck up, and we're gonna do whatever we do today. That's just it.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but it has to be over the right thing. And right now, I mean, with GDR in charge, I don't really see him pushing up to that. I could see some of the stuff that was going on recently, but GDR, I think GDR, Raken, he understands the game. And he understands the player base much better than what we were recently treated to. Yeah, I mean, the players have not picked the right points, at least in my experience, to revolt.
You can think, how long have we had the Icebreaker now? 8, 9, close to a year, Icebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly they decided, oh, we're going to fix the bugs that you can, get the ship together and run straight. And that was like 1 week ago. And how long has that ship not been collecting when you try to drive it? Excuse my English, I do not know the right words, but get the ship together and drive straight. Icebreaker has been like since they came out, you have to wiggle up and down, trying to get them together to drive. And suddenly, oh, we fixed that bug. And how fucking long has that gone? 8-9 months? And you drive Icebreaker today, they are perfect. They get together perfect. You can drive through the FM perfect. Why the fuck did it take them like so long to get that little bug fixed? We know why. Because that meant that we got more damage.
I think I don't know if it's that, or I think it's more about priorities as far as what they're supposed to fix at any individual time.
Yeah, priority. What the fuck? We have paid our dues to get that ship. We have built them, and we have refitted them a couple of times to adjust to the FM. And suddenly, oh, we got that fixed, and it works perfectly. I really enjoy driving my Icebreaker because they are aligned great together. You can go around and you get a decent output for what you do. Okay. But how long did that take? And that's a bug that we have been asking for a long, long time.
All right.
Shit broken in this game that they can never fix.
Yeah, whatever. Should we go to the after show unless anybody has anything else positive or not positive, but constructive? Constructive.
I'm sorry. I do have one positive thing to say.
Well, not positive. Constructive is more of the word.
Well, positive and constructive as well.
Okay.
That
my latest one was actually positive though.
I'm actually quite liking the fact that they rerun the Hunter and the Hidden Depths campaigns, and they increased the amount of tokens in each as well. So you got like 50 days worth of tokens in the Fangtooth campaign. I think that's a nice touch because obviously we've been going on about how screwed recently we've been and how we've missed out on like the Chaos chain gun and the kinetic gun as well, OP gun, because of having a lack of fangs or indeed in some cases a lack of hunters for other campaigns that we've had. So I think it's good that they've done that. I appreciate the fact that they've done that. They put a decent amount in there so you could get, pretty much at least half a fleet, maybe more, out of doing the campaign. So that's good. I quite like that. I like the fact that they put a decent amount of charged armor in the Hunter Games TLC as well. So you could get 16 pieces of CT armor, which is also, I think, is very good for people who are trying to catch up on the game. Sure. So yeah, I'll tip my hat for that one. It's a good addition.
If they can do that TLC though, right? Because everybody's been saying it's really tough.
Which one's that one?
No, the Zoe's thing that's not on the board.
Oh, I'm not on about the Zoe's one. I'm on about the Hunter Games 3 and
okay.
the Hidden Depths ones. Just as a catch-up TLC, they've done a really good job. I think it's nice and balanced and well done.
Sorry, I stepped away for a second. Came in, I guess, halfway through that.
No, it's all right. It's no worries. So, but yeah, I think that they've done a good job with that.
Alrighty. I guess we should go to the after show. Unless anybody has anything else.
Oh, I have a shitload, but okay, go through after the show.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I think I posted not too long ago in YouTube chat in case anybody would like to join us. And I guess see y'all on Wednesday, and we'll talk about the newest update. Oh, we'll be talking about raid preview at that point in time. And everybody have a wonderful evening, and take advantage of, at least the Path TLC. Either if you're a big player that can help other players, or you need somebody that's needs some help. It's there for both people. So take advantage of it, and don't ignore it. And even though it's only there for 3 or 4 days, take advantage of it, everybody. So good night, everybody.
Bye bye.
See ya.